many of us start thinking about building go-to-market strategies, perhaps looking to scale internationally, look to enter a new market, there's kind of a couple of options. We can invest a lot of money and go direct and build our own sales team and be selling direct to enterprise. Another way could be building our own partner and channel program. And so today I'm delighted to welcome Nick Whitehead, who's the CMO at Serko, to give us a rundown on the partner program that he's developed and the impact that's had on the business. And we'll follow that up with an awesome channel and partner marketing panel to kind of discuss that further. So please welcome Nick Whitehead.
I heard a whoop somewhere in the room. That was good. I haven't even said anything yet. Put that there. I don't think this is a slide clicker. This looks like a bomb detonator.
Yeah, it does, really.
With great trepidation. So hi, yeah, I'm Nick. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Serko. For the next 20 minutes, we're going to be looking at marketing through a channel lens. And I thought we'd have a bit of fun too, because it is kind of the graveyard shift. Everyone's been in here all day. Auction kind of goes a little bit. Everyone's had a big lunch. It's natural that some people might start to nod off a little bit. So we're going to play a game. If you see somebody at your table start to nod off, I want you to yell, "Wake up." You win a copy of Building Successful Partner Channels. And the person who had been falling asleep, at great personal expense, I had them build in a naughty step. And the person who falls asleep has to come and sit on the naughty step for the rest of the presentation. So, all right, we're going to look at channel from Serko's perspective. Sorry, touch the mic. Serko is a New Zealand technology company. We play in the travel and expense management space. We are a publicly listed company, which is why we have a ridiculous revenue growth forecast number there, because our results are in a couple of weeks. And I couldn't do anything, but every fiber in my marketing body wanted to round that number up, but my CFO would kill me. So we are a tech company. We play in the business travel and expense management space. And just like Simon Sinek taught us to introduce you to Serko, I thought I'd start with why, with a short video about our purpose.
Don't dial in online. Don't watch the keynote live feed. Don't settle for one of these. Be there. Don't miss the corporate high fives, the stick-on name badges, or the post-conference mixer. Be part of it. Don't join in your underwear or wrestle with distractions. Be present. Don't miss the sunrise over Sydney Harbor or the best cheeseburger dumplings you never tasted. Be bold. Technology has given us an excuse to stay apart. Not anymore. Our technology brings people together by making travel easier. In person, in the moment, every trip more frictionless and connected than ever before. So don't imagine it, don't phone it in, don't wonder what if. Be together, because we believe being together makes all the difference. Serko, we bring people together.
So that's why we do what we do. And what we do is that we create really cool software that makes it really easy for travelers to book and manage their trips wherever they are in the world, and for their companies or their employers to manage their travel programs, to introduce things like spend control, to deal with risk management, to deal with traveler well-being and duty of care. Because if you're booking a personal trip, it's pretty simple. You can do that pretty effectively online, right? Everyone knows how to do that. If you are a travel manager and you have hundreds or thousands of travelers across the world, then that becomes a little bit more complex. You need to make sure that you're giving the travelers what they need, but at the same time, you're running a really effective travel program that's, saving money, negotiating good rates, that kind of thing, and delivering traveler satisfaction. So that's what we do. And we've employed a channel strategy to take our product to market. And over the last few years, we've been able to build pretty significant market share, about 70% roughly of the Australia and New Zealand market. We have about we have more than 6,000 enterprise customers who are using our technology. We have about 500,000 registered SMEs on the platform. And together they're booking millions of trips a year and spending billions of dollars on business travel on our platform. And we've achieved that with effectively no sales team and with a sales and marketing OPEX number that is significantly lower than the SaaS benchmark. And I can't tell you what that number is, although I'd love to, but it's a lot less than 50% of the benchmark costs for OPEX. And we're going to explore a little bit about how that happens. We have this vision of a marketplace that connects the world's business travel content, so all of the flights and hotel rooms and rental cars and airport transfers that you would ever need. On one side, on the demand side, on the supply side, then on the demand side, we want to connect the world's business travelers. And we have two principal channels to market that we use there, two principal channel partners, one servicing the enterprise market through travel management companies like Flight Centre, and one serving the SME market through Booking.com. Now, every business, if you kind of distill it down, looks a little bit like this. You come up with a business strategy, you identify a market that you want to go after, you think about customer pain points that you want to solve, and you develop a product to solve that. Then you figure out your go-to-market strategy, and at some point the rubber meets the road, and you have to go out there and generate leads, and you have to close those leads, and you have to onboard customers, and you have to keep those customers. And in a direct model, that entire stack sits in your organization. You resource that entirely, you run that entirely yourselves. In a partner model, essentially what you're doing is you are finding channel organizations who can help you to find and win and make and keep customers. And there's a few different versions of that model which we'll explore shortly. This is a terrible slide to put up in a room full of marketers, and can also just say how cool it is to be in a room full of people who also just do tech marketing. I should have thought about that before putting a slide full of numbers up. But essentially, if you look at the SaaS revenue, SaaS benchmark rates of operating expenditure, even by category of size, sales and marketing costs is the #1 OPEX line. And what we've been able to achieve through our channel partnership is a much lower cost to acquire, much greater efficiency. In our world, the enterprise buyers for travel management software are travel buyers or travel procurement professionals. There might be one in AUT, or maybe there's somebody in procurement who does it part-time. And in every organization that we want to target around the world, there's maybe a small team of people. That's a lot of needles in a lot of haystacks. And if we just try and approach them through a marketing strategy, a direct marketing strategy, it's literally like raindrops or drops of water on a hot grill. There's a lot of wastage. There's a lot of marketing spend that isn't really effective because it's very hard for us to get to those customers. But by finding the right kind of channel partners who already have our customers, which in our case is travel management companies, 100% of their customer base are organizations who have gone to them to manage their travel program and they need a technology solution. Then that means we can be ultra efficient at targeting customers, and our marketing spend can be a lot more effective. There are a bunch of really ambitious New Zealand tech companies who want to go into other big markets around the world like Australia and the US, which is awesome. And most of the time they want to do it with a bit of number 8 fencing wire and some duct tape. There are also a lot of bodies of companies littered throughout the Pacific and the Tasman who tried to do that and just didn't have enough capital, couldn't invest the right amount of resources. But a channel model can actually be a real force multiplier to help you enter into new markets by leveraging their own customer base, their own account management and sales teams without having to put loads of bodies on the ground yourself. And to put some context in that, although we have big market share in Australia and New Zealand, over the last few years, we've expanded into North America, and one of our biggest partners in North America, their customer base is the size of the entire Australia and New Zealand market. So channels, if you get them right, can be incredible force multipliers to unlock scale really effectively. And that's kind of, there are some significant benefits to going for a channel model. There's some challenges as well, which we'll cover, but yeah, being able to be much more efficient in not just your cost to acquire, but in our case, our partners in the enterprise space are acquiring customers, they're implementing and configuring our software for that customer, they're onboarding them, they're migrating them off another platform, and then they're supporting them, first and second level support. And so not only are our costs to acquire much lower, but our costs to support are much lower as well. We kind of covered off the scalable piece. It is a way, if you get the right partner, and if you are a small New Zealand tech company like us, and you find these partners who are 10 times or 100 times larger than you, that can unlock really significant seams of revenue. And obviously, not just rapid expansion to new markets, but sometimes de-risked expansion to new markets. You can sign a partner or start working with a partner in a new territory and test it out. And if it doesn't work, you can wind it back without having an entire workforce that you put on the ground. But hey, there are some challenges, I will be honest, to going for a channel model. Channel, by its very nature, is indirect versus direct. And by being indirect, you are introducing another layer of separation between you and your customer. And you have to work really hard to maintain that connection with your end customer and with that community without ceding complete control to your partner. Because if you lose sight of that customer, obviously you're going to be challenged with your own business strategy. It's also a bit like going from your nice little Kiwi SaaS speedboat, which you can pivot and move direction and quite quickly, to being on the bridge of a cruise liner. And trying to get changes of direction can be really challenging because you have that complexity of another partner who's in the mix with you. And potentially there is a risk of reduced per sale profits. But if you look at something like the deal that Starlink did with One, or what used to be called Vodafone recently, for sure, they're not getting as much profit per one mobile customer than they would have if they'd done a deal with each one of you directly. But in one deal, they sewed up a really good chunk of the New Zealand market, and they can go and focus on bigger and more important things. So there's definitely some challenges when it comes to channel marketing. There's the good and the bad. In the direct world of marketing, we like to think of it a bit like a flywheel, right? So we build a flywheel of sales and marketing that generates leads and converts those leads and then converts those leads into customers, and we grow those customers. And that flywheel is great. We can spin that up as fast as our marketing budget and our internal resources allow. Building a channel model is more like building a hydro power station. It takes a lot more effort. It takes a lot more time. But if you're able to do it effectively, then that generates energy that will sustain your business for many years to come and will actually be quite transformative. So if you are interested in building a channel, we're going to talk about that now. I have done you all a favor. You don't need to read the book. I have ChatGPT'd the crap out of channel, and I've come up with the 3 keys to success for channel marketing, and they are swipe right, power up, and fire. Swipe right, power up, and fire. Okay, so firstly, swiping right is about choosing the right channel model and then ultimately the right channel partner for your type of product as a vendor. There is a real spectrum of different channel partner models, and it depends what kind of channel your product is most friendly to. If you have a product that can easily be customized and extended, then you can create a professional services revenue model for your partners. If you have a product that can be bundled with other products into a solution, then that revenue and profit opportunity for your partners can increase dramatically. In Serko's world, we have 2 models that we employ, and I'm going to cover those off. Those are value-added resellers and white label partners. But before we do, there's a couple of other great examples to look at in New Zealand if you want to explore this further. On the referral side, Xero has done an incredible job of turning accountants into a referral engine to bring their customers onto their accounting platform. Incredibly good job of doing that. Not only have they delivered value for Xero, but they've also delivered value for Xero's accounting partners, who essentially are able to run their practices more effectively through that partnership. And at the other end, you've got things like OEM. There's a really cool app called Parkable. Is anyone from Parkable here today?
Yep.
Hi. Parkable have a really interesting software solution for managing corporate car parks, and they're exploring partnerships with building concierge apps where they can integrate those apps together using APIs, which means that in a number of buildings you can go into, you can deal with your building access and car park access all with one app. Really cool. So we're going to explore Serko's models. We have quite a spectrum of customers as we looked at before, and our customers buy very differently depending on the size of them and their complexity. At the lower end of this chart, small companies, single-person companies, they shop for business travel like we as consumers. It's like a B2C approach. They have a customer life cycle of maybe one booking, and if they don't like that, they're going to go to a different site next time. They're going to go to Air New Zealand, they're going to go to Hilton.com, they're going to go to Expedia or Booking.com. They behave a lot like consumers. So we had to take a very different channel model with them compared to the enterprise customers who are buying travel management software through their travel management companies on about a 3 to 5 year RFP cycle. So really different buying behaviors, really different customer segments within the business travel vertical. And so we deployed two really different models for getting to those channels. For the large enterprise who are adopting a travel management company, we partner with the likes of Flight Centre. They take our product, they add on their own content, so their own deals that they've negotiated with airlines and hotels and things like that. They add on their own services on top of that, which could be customer support or consulting or whatever, and that creates a unique value proposition for them. And it will be a different experience whether you're buying our technology through Flight Centre or another partner. So your partner marketing game has to be really strong to support this VAR model, but it is really effective. A different example with Booking.com for business is a white label partnership. So Booking.com effectively took our platform, applied their brand to it, and then together we've taken an SME offering into the business travel market and really leveraged their strengths at an incredible ability to optimize customer experience and conversion through experimentation, and also just really efficient customer acquisition. They are incredibly good at it. So them bringing that, us bringing the business travel tech, has created a nice winning partnership. Okay, secret to success number 2, or key to success number 2, is about powering up. It's about the channel value proposition. Now, we are all really good as marketers at developing a customer value proposition, but you have to think about a channel value proposition if this is the road you're going to go down. It's about how is your partner going to generate more value from your product than they would otherwise. And it has to be value that isn't just the margin they make on reselling. It has to be that exponential value that they can create for the customer. And so when it comes to building out a partner value proposition, you really have to explain what is that potential value that they get? Just like a power-up in a video game, what's that superpower that they're going to get by partnering and integrating your product into their offering? You got to explain also what they're going to have to invest, because partnerships do take time to get up and running. And if the partner doesn't invest fully or in the way that they need to make it a success, then you can die on the vine, which we'll cover in a minute. So you've got to think about what is that business case? When can the partner expect to reach break even? What's the proper profitability like to be of that venture? Because it is going to take time, you have to sell the pot of gold vision at the end, but you have to back it up with a business case of how you're going to help them get there. And that's what we'll move to next, is the channel activation, because you need to have a channel strategy that's designed to activate your partners as fast as possible. But it is going to take more time than going direct, and you do have to build an investment prospectus for that partner. Anyone fallen asleep yet? Damn, I don't want to take this book home with me. I already read it. That's where the presentation came from. Okay, so in the world of value-added resellers, in terms of thinking about that value prop for us, in that managed travel space, our value-added resellers take our product, add their brand, their product, their content, their services, and they should be making about 10x. So for every dollar of our product that they sell, they should be making $10. If they're selling $1 million worth of our product, they should be making $10 million in revenue from their overall offering. And that is a compelling proposition for a partner. Making 50% margin on selling our product alone isn't that compelling, but that overall partner value proposition is strong. And it doesn't always have to be about just pure revenue generation from reselling, bundling, or value adding on top. As we saw with Booking.com, they have millions of travel customers already, millions of travel bookers on their platform, and lots of them tick that box. I'm traveling for work. Have any of you ever ticked that box? Get your hands up? Not many of you. Come on, really? Okay. Anyway, so what we were able to do for Booking.com was actually help them to enter a new market, which is the business travel market, and that's a lower number than pre-COVID. It's about 1.3 trillion pre-COVID. We helped that partner to enter that market much quicker and cheaper than they would have if they went out and built that technology themselves. So the value proposition doesn't have to be just about direct revenue. It can be about expanding into new markets as well. Okay, key to success number 3 is about fire. It is about how to activate your partners. And one thing that is really challenging with partners is that you just can't push them to success the way that you can when you own your own channels. Pushing your partners is as effective as pushing rope, right? It's not going to get you very far. What you have to do is pull the partners to success. You have to prime them. You have to pull at them up front by delivering them qualified leads or proving to them the market opportunity that you guys can do together. A better analogy is that it's like building a fire. It's about being a fire starter. And you might sign up a new partner they've got tons of customers and they've got loads of BDMs, and boy, when they start selling your product, you're just going to be able to sit back. That's like a giant pile of firewood. You're going to be able to sit back and warm yourself from all of that revenue that they're going to bring in. You're going to have to call the bank and ask them to make your bank account bigger to bring in, to have space for all of that revenue that's going to come in. But unless you have a way to light up that pile of firewood, you're not going to get very far. You have to start with a spark. You have to have kindling. You have to nurture that fire to get it to a point where it then takes off. It is a process of nurturing through that channel engagement program. Our own channel activation journey was a little bit more glacial. When we launched Zeno to market in 2018, we had a load of partners across Australia and New Zealand with a bunch of customers on our legacy platform, and we wanted to migrate them off. We'd built a great product. We had an awesome value proposition, and we gave it to our partners to take out to their customers, and they came back after a little while and said, nah, they don't want it. The customers don't want it. It's too expensive. It doesn't do all the things the old one did, and they just don't see the value in it. That was tough. So what we realized was that actually we need to take a different approach to partner activation. Instead of just having a couple of partner account managers with a PowerPoint deck, we're to really rethink our partner activation program. And we realized that the quality and value of our software was only as good as our partners' ability to articulate it in market. And if that was true, then we had to figure out how to get them really, really good at articulating that. So we built the Zeno Partner Program, which really consisted of 2 primary things. One was a learning program that took partner account managers and sales people from 0 to hero when it came to talking about Zeno through online learning modules and facilitated workshops. And a partner portal that brought all of the content and knowledge and support that they needed to find, win, make, and grow customers into one really easy-to-use interface, the Zeno Partner Portal. We used an off-the-shelf product. We were able to turn this around really, really quickly. We had phenomenal response from our partners. We've had hundreds of our partners go through that education program, and the data that we get back around their ability, their confidence and capability to sell Zeno not only shows up in the stats that we get from that, but it shows up in the revenue figures that we've got as well. So we built a really cool partner portal. We built a really cool academy. We worked with the partner portal. We worked with a vendor called Allbound, who are really cool to work with. There is a whole category. I know you're familiar with CRM. There's a whole category called PRM as well, or Partner Relationship Management Software. A lot of the stuff you can get off the shelf. They were great. We also worked with Systoc, which is a New Zealand corporate learning consultancy, and they helped us build out this learning program that it goes from 0 to hero. We called it the Zeno Get Your Wings program, and when people graduate from that, they have got, oh, you want to take a photo? I can go back.
It's a good slide.
You got it? Okay. Yeah, and when people have gone through that program, they actually graduate. They get their Zeno wings. They also get a box of really cool merch and goodies, like a little plane that they put on their desk and, stuff like that. It's a celebration. And then what we're now seeing, because we've made it really easy for them, is our partners who have been through the program, they actually are putting it on their LinkedIn profile as a qualification. And that's creating a community of brand advocates for us in the market as well. Kind of an unexpected outcome of that partner program. All right, I'm going to wrap up here with 3 takeaways and 1 challenge for you. The 3 takeaways, I think you know this, right? Swipe right, power up, and fire. Swipe right is about identifying the right model as a vendor, a right partner that can work with you as a vendor to maximize the value. And then power up is about building a really strong partner value proposition. Fire is about making sure that you have the right kind of channel activation plan in place. As I said, we've learned good and bad from that. My challenge to you is this. If you look at your customers and if you look at your ecosystem, if you look upstream and downstream, if you look at the other products and services that your customers are using, see if you can identify a partner that would help you deliver transformational growth like that as well. Because if you take that challenge, you'll be taking the first step to building a hydro power station of leads and revenue for your organization. Thank you.